Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here, and we're fighting in Texas. We are trying to keep Texas from being conquered by the American Union state. We are trying to reform the U.S., but we are supporting the Pacific States of America. So, let's continue here. Well, Africa is a... Well, I won't get into it now, but Africa is a very sort of different space than just about everywhere else. South America was highly colonized by Europeans. Sure, there's some nations that are predominantly Indian, but they still had high levels of colonization into it. Others, say, like, well, particularly Uruguay, is almost all Europeans, and similar with Argentina, but you get into Paraguay or Brazil, lots and lots of indigenous people there, but you have high levels of colonization, meaning people from Europe coming in locally. Africa, you have several different colonizations. You have into North Africa, you have Arabic colonizations. That is very much a Islamic era colonization, because before then you had Berbers and Numidians and other groups in North Africa that are still there. They're still populations, though they're now dominated culturally, even within themselves, by Arabic culture, as far as I understand it. So you have that wave. Down in the rest of Africa, most of the Europeans were there purely for commercial reasons. Obviously, you had the Boers, sort of Dutch, coming into South Africa, that then, because of the position of South Africa, Britain wanting the tip of it, migrated inland. So you have a fair number of, and so South Africa is the only early European mass settlement into Africa. Now we're seeing real problems in South Africa, but and only sort of near the close, 20th century, really, did you see Rhodesia, and then a bit later into Kenya, real sort of moves by Britain to settle Europeans into those regions. So most of Africa was just a surface, you know, minimal industrial occupation. So you have a very different situation than you do in other parts of the world. And in Africa, outside of a few, you know, you can talk about the Zulus and a few other groups. Most of them, and there's still sort of a Zulu state going on to this day. Most of Africa did not have, you know, sub-Saharan Africa, did not have governments like we would understand governments. Where India, there was no concept of, and I think ads would agree with me, you know, before, I don't know, 1750 or some dates, 1700 or something, there was no concept of India as a country. But there were governments and countries in India. The Mughals, the Maharathas, and other, sorry, I'm butchering some of that ads, but they were these other real governments that controlled very large sections, as well as you find that in, Thailand, in China, in Japan. So you find that in those places. So although Europeans obviously dominated the great bulk of India, there had already been a society there that had governments set up in them. The rest, you know, and so once the Europeans leave, you know, they leave their mark, particularly on places like India. I hear, you know, well, I hear, but also watching some Indian troops playing Scottish bagpipes, you know. So, and this is post-colonial India. Why are they still playing Scottish bagpipes? Because they're influenced by Scottish culture, because they were there, and they find that there's some value to it. Now, I don't know why they like Scottish bagpipes, you know, some regiments, some units, but they do. You know, why value some music? I don't know, but they do. Um, Also, they like some in India, I do believe, British bureaucratic systems that they've maintained. In China, it's a whole different mess. They've gotten rid of the old Confucian-based bureaucratic system. I'm forgetting what it was called. But they've set up a sort of Western-looking style. Yeah, but do they see it as India as a nation adds, as a unified group of people, or just as a regions? Well, I'm sure they need being reformed, but they're probably you know, probably better than what was there before the British showed up. Is sort of what I'm saying. Not that they're the best in the world or anything like that. So, okay. Come on, I need reinforcements in Texas. All these units are arriving in like Pomerania. Are there any of them? You've showed up to fight here, and you've showed up to fight up here, guys. But we're fighting over in America. The place, not. And you're occupying my country. Okay, well. Okay, we've got more shipbuilding. Well, let's plus this to 1 to finish the current one. And heavy cruisers. I don't think we're building any battleships, so let's build some battleships. See you, Nagaro. Good having you here. Okay, great, Ad. Sometime we'll take a look. Those of you on chat can do so now. And all the text is being recorded for later viewing on YouTube as well. Okay, we're still waiting. Yeah. Hoping that more stuff will get here, but so far everything that they're promising me shows up in Germany. Or they're fighting up here. Thanks for following the channel. Really do appreciate that. And thanks, Martin. Fire Brigade. Good. So we now have another doctrine to be used. We've got fire brigades. Yeah, we might as well push on this. And I really do, all of you, I really enjoy your feedback, because although I do very much try to understand how the rest of the world thinks about things, and I have traveled a little bit, and I do consume some media, you know, whether it's watching BBC or other stuff. I'm only able to give, shall we say, my American perspective on a lot of this stuff. Angetreten. Yeah, okay. That's Pancho Villa, isn't it? Pancho Villa really the... Radicalist. Okay, I'll take a non-aggression pack with you, but we got Pancho Villa as head of Mexico. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep from being pocketed myself here right now. I need reinforcements. Attack. I know you're attacking across the river, but attack. Join the attack. Garrison division. I know I've sent a bunch of more divisions here. Where are they? Okay, we got these guys coming. Good. Oh, these guys turned back to here. We were supposed to be coming to Texas until we lost our port. Hello, Dan. Good to see you.
Angetreten. Bereit.
Okay, good. We've gone across the river.
Ausrücken. Weiter, weiter. Greift weiter an.
Okay, the triplet program is completed, so we've got that. 35 days Navy experience. Yeah. Improving our fleets.
Achtung.
Counterattack that way then. Oh, I can tell you on Afghanistan, how can you control Afghanistan? That's actually fairly easy. All you have to do is build really good modern roads. Because the reason Afghanistan is the way Afghanistan is because all the different little valleys are highly isolated from one another. But if you were to put in, and they've been doing this a little bit, but put in infrastructure in there, eventually modern culture. I'm not attacking so much troops, but modern culture will infiltrate into the tribal regions. If you have if it takes you 3 days to drive from your valley to the other valley because it's going so slow on the terrible roads, or if it takes you 15 minutes on a highway, to the next valley, I'm talking literally that kind of thing. It just takes you 15 minutes to get there instead of 3 days. Everything's going to change in Afghanistan. But so long as it's the way it is, it's going to be the way it is. Yeah, I know, but I just don't have the troops. I'm trying to close the front line up so that my allies don't collapse. I get you. I know. I sent a bunch of troops over here, and they got diverted because I lost my port. And so I'm trying to get more troops going back to somewhere in America. Okay, you guys here. So can you reach the American seaboard? Yes. Okay. Convoy right there. That's good. Now we've got. Now let's do Narvik class. Okay. And on ship production. Let's end the Leipzig class and increase that, and then let's come over here. We have the new M-class light cruisers. Create a variant. There we go. Well, we want to do anti-aircraft. We like reliability. We like range. Sure, we'll do that, and we'll. See, that's 130. That'll eat up all of our naval experience, but yep, we'll do that. We're getting more coming soon. Ah, good to hear. You're talking. Don't know where you're talking exactly, where there were just two. I think maybe here. We got that closed off. Good. You head back. And you head back. Otherwise, we're going to lose that. You head into there. And yes, I would like to close this off, but. Well, you're talking here, are you? Oh, is this where you were talking? Yeah, that would be very smart to do. Sorry, I don't catch some of these things. Don't know if we'll be in time. Nervalvators. Okay, let's build a bunch more. We have been building factories and others to keep them happy with us. Okay. And we're going to come over here. And we're going to start building Nervalvators. Once all those come in. And let's convert these to Bachler lanes. Yeah, I understand that, ads. My problem is I've got troops on the way, and so I just want to get them there, and then because so far my German troops have been able to really outperform anybody attacking them. We're in such good state. Well, here, you can see, oh, well, maybe they did. They did. Yeah, they did. That would have been a good move. You're right, Django. Ah, see, this is the unit, one of the units I've been waiting for. No. There we are. Okay. You guys come up that way. We retreat back on Houston because we don't want to be cut off. This is already enough of a distraction. I don't need another naval invasion if I can get my forces here. Got Rommel coming here. San Diego.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Okay, Sedan Kai. Good, you come there.
Befehle.
You guys go up. You're already there. Okay. Infantry divisions to there. Cavalry divisions to there, and armor that way. Now that we got decent forces.
Angetreten.
And we're pushing forward. Fallback's good, but we're pushing forward. Okay, oh, not enough time.
Zeigt es ihnen.
Oh, damn it. I want to get you on the offensive.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
I'll support that attack.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Oh, damn you. Come on, guys. Can't allow these.
Ausrücken. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Achtung. Bereit. Bereit. Befehle. Achtung.
I want to come up the outside of this river.
Befehle. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Achtung. Angetreten. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Befehle.
Okay, we're here now. With these guys. Come
Ausrücken. Zuhören. Befehle. Befehle. Angetreten.
Hey Arno. Yeah, I don't understand some of the mechanics. Yes, we're fighting near Dan's, well, I don't know if quite hometown, but Dan's part of the world. Don't know which is better representative of things. whether it's the Pacific Union under Frank Merriam or Huey Long. I don't have a good opinion of Huey Long, so yeah. We'll try to get the U.S. back to being
Angetreten.
the way it should.
Ihre Befehle. Ihre Befehle. Achtung!
Support that attack. Okay, you got there.
Zuhören.
You attack out there. With their support.
Achtung! Ausrücken! Ausrücken!
There we go. That's good now. They're still coming that way. And you guys here. Yeah, this would be a good spot to drive into for. We'll turn this around.
Zuhören!
Well, because Django, you see, we're Europeans, so we name cities like from where we're from, like York, and so it was called New Amsterdam when it was Dutch, but then the Duke of York. York is a city place in Britain, comes over and takes it away from the Dutch. They call it, after him, New York. Because the Duke of York is the younger brother of the King of England, or the younger brother of the Prince of Wales, the future King of England. So that's how New York got its name, because of that. Now, Philadelphia is a sort of a more unique situation in that it is sort of the, if you will, I guess, Greek revival of things, means sort of brotherly love, and that was going into the province of Sylvania. But when King James II was granting the charter to William Penn, well, Sylvania's cool, but hey, let's, call it after you. We'll call it Pennsylvania. So that's named after William Penn, the Quaker. So, there's a bunch of that. And now Washington, the District of Columbia, is named after a person. But a lot of this is named after places we're from, and mostly in Britain. Well, yeah, we could put new in front of some of them, but, does anybody know where Jersey is? Anybody know where Jersey is? Most people don't know where Jersey is. Anybody on chat want to say they know where Jersey is? Oh, well, probably almost every state in the Union, Django, probably has a city or town named Berlin. And if not every one of them, probably more than half do. Ad's got it. The Channel Islands. That's Jersey. Absolutely right. And so, yeah, well, not really in, you said somewhere in the UK. No, it's actually outside of the United Kingdom. It is here. These islands actually are not part of the United Kingdom. They're still sort of pseudo feudalistic possessions of the British Crown. So they're not technically part of the United Kingdom. because they're not part of England, Scotland, Wales, or Ireland. But yeah, crown dependency, absolutely. So that's where Jersey is. But everybody knows about New Jersey, and it's the slang in America here for this state. Most of the people just call it Jersey. So this is, you know, locally. This is more popularly known than where it was named after. So, you know, various causes and reasons for all of it.
Alright.
Okay, you guys come here.
Angetreten.
Okay, now that we got these Panzer
Bereit
divisions
zum
here,
Ausrücken.
drive it to there.
Befehle. Ausrücken. Ihre Befehle.
So there's some reinforcements there.
Achtung! Zuhören! Bereit! Bereit zum Ausrücken! Zuhören! Ausrücken! Ihre Befehle? Ausrücken!
Ah, here they are.
Bereit!
Von Winstead's army. It is more of an army.
Ausrücken! Achtung! Ausrücken! Bereit! Angetreten!
Reinforce that. Well, they're moving, I think. Panzers.
Angetreten!
Okay, you guys. Go north of there.
Achtung!
North to there.
Bereit! Befehle! Bereit zum Ausrücken! Zuhören! Angetreten!
See if we can link these two up. Yeah, I know. I just don't want to
Zuhören!
have what's happening here of them coming back and reoccupying territories again.
Achtung!
Okay, break up this group.
Zuhören! Bereit! Befehle!
You stop.
Befehle? Ihre Befehle! Angetreten! Achtung!
go. Now we can just maintain and crush that.
Ihre Befehle? Ausrücken! Achtung! Bereit zum Ausrücken!
Big enough pocket there for you, Django? Sorry, I'm not watching chat. Yes. Now, Django's helping me out. I'm not always catching exactly what he's meaning, but he's definitely helping me out. Okay, oh, saving. Okay. Okay, we now have Cuba as an enemy. Swell. Don't know what good that's going to do for you, but you know.
Ausrücken! Angetreten! Befehle? Achtung! Ihre Befehle!
One of the divisions can hold that.
Ihre Befehle? Ausrücken! Bereit zum Ausrücken! Befehle! Ausrücken! Befehle!
Attack there. Okay, guys. Steamroller this way.
Bereit zum Ausrücken!
You just come down and no. Okay, no, that's okay. Come down and occupy these.
Angetreten!
You
Ausrücken!
join that attack. Good one, I like that.
Befehle? Bereit? Ausrücken!
Well, let's take a quick look here. Okay. Shipbuilding. Okay, we've got a bunch more open slots. We need, I think, our new light cruisers. Yeah. There we go. And we are filling up all of our slots.
Zuhören!
Come on, drive into there. Yeah, I think some of the blue laws that are still in Texas are a bit, I don't know, dated. Back to Prohibition era. I still think the idea that in California that we have to shut down selling liquor is stupid. 2 a.m. until I think it's 6. Oh yeah, no, this is a remarkably good result, and I'm quite proud of the big pocket here when I did. Okay, we're gonna try to grab this side of the riverbank there. Here it is. We join the attack, so they're attacking from 2 sides. Narvik class, good. We can improve some of this stuff. Long-range fighters. I like long-range fighters. Now I've been sort of, before I started all of this, I sent over a bunch of aircraft to America, which okay, they're already overly full. They still have open, and I was finding because no, not both of those, just one. From day one, the Paradox people have been talking about that this is a sandbox game. This is a sandbox game. Oh, what can't we send? Okay, no. Okay. Another thing here. 100 more. Cannot create. No. Oh, none of manpower. Oh, I'm hurting on manpower. Okay. No, we can't do that anymore. And you look at, and yeah, okay, sandbox, but then you look at here and how little work they've done, how big the air zones and whatnot are in the U.S. Sort of, you know. Casualty screen. No, you're looking for. Not used to looking these up, guys. The stats, details. I don't really care, quite honestly. I don't. I know there's a bunch of the. Just gonna save this here, just in case I hit something wrong. Or yeah, that's probably a good idea. Don't know, where are my stats? You know, I played this a lot, but some things I just don't do, quite honestly. Oh, you're talking, yeah. Equipment. Losses. Combat by attrition. Enemy losses. These are sort of done by theaters, and my theaters are all mixed up currently, so don't know if it really helps. You can sort of see Papa Hoth and Rommel versus Patton, if you're noticing that. He's the main commander there. Don't really know. It looks like we're getting the better of them in losses. Heavy divisions in our current armor units. I don't know that we really are. Those are all mediums. I converted those to mediums. I think we have... No, those are with lights. We have a few of those divisions. Motorized divisions just have lights. Yeah, our motorized divisions are sort of using the Panzer icon, but they're really just a little bit of tanks with motorized infantry. So you're right, we can probably shut that down. Production-wise. Got a lot of mediums under production, so... Oh, actually cancel. Let's change this to tank destroyers. So we'll build light tank destroyers. Not that we're using a lot, but we're not using any because I don't think we have any. But we can start building up a reserve of them. Okay, so we've taken this out. They're going to occupy that. Come up in the mountains there. I think these mountain troops have worked out pretty well. Support that attack. We're attacking there now. How do we... okay. Paulus with a little bit of mountains, some foreign troops. Come up that way. You support, make sure we get this. Get Dallas back. Okay. Keep moving, keep moving. Attack again. Don't give them a break. Okay, food from Middle Africa. Okay, fine. Carrier horses. Now let's get our sub-operations a little better. We haven't been paying much attention. Hope we've been doing well out here. Okay. Well, I think we're going to end this episode. I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank you for liking the videos. I really do appreciate that. And, of course, let's have you post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.